Assalamu alaikum, it's Huma Islam, your Islamia teacher. Okay, today I'm going to discuss Hadith number 6. It's from P2, question number 1 of your P2. And this Hadith number 6 is based on communal conduct. من رأى منكم منكرا فليغيره بيده فإن لم يستطع فبلسانه فإن لم يستطع فبقلبه وذلك أضعف الإيمان. Whosoever of you sees an evil action, let him change it with his hand, and if he is not able to do so, then with his tongue, and if he is not able to do so, then with his heart, and that is the weakest of faith. Teachings within the Hadith. Muslims' belief to enjoin, promote good, and forbid evil. It is a Muslim, each and every Muslim's belief that it is our work as the Muslim Ummah, to enjoin or promote good and forbid evil. If you've heard the verse, وَأَمَلْ بِالْمَعْرُوفِ وَنَهِي عَنِ الْمُنْكَرِ, in other words, you will give the amr, you will order ma'ruf, the good, nahi, and you will stop al-munkar, from anything that is evil or anything that is bad. You are the best ummah. Then we have a quote, you are the best ummah, raised for mankind, enjoying what is right and forbidding what is evil. It is a Muslim's duty assigned by Allah. And why has Allah assigned us this duty to promote good and forbid evil? It was the Prophet's duty. It was the duty of each and every Prophet to promote good and forbid from evil. The prophetic duty has to carry on. You know, the last prophet was the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So this duty was carried on by the Muslim Ummah. This duty has been assigned to Muslims. Declaration of faith proved by actions, not by words. When you do promote good and you do forbid from evil, then you are promoting. It is a manifestation of your faith, basically. It's not just merely saying I believe in Allah. It is a manifestation of your faith, your actions. Jihad, oppose everything. What is jihad? It's to struggle and to strive to oppose everything evil, strive for the cause of Allah and improving society. Hadith. By he in whose hand is my soul, you will enjoin righteousness and forbid evil, or Allah will send a punishment on you from him. Then you will supplicate, but he will not accept your prayers. Now, this is an alarming hadith, that because if you see people, the Muslims, the common Muslims today, they have stopped this act of promoting good and forbidding evil. They say, oh, just let everybody do whatever they want to do. And because of this is a punishment to us, that we supplicate and our supplications, our du'as, are not responded to. Why? For example, is there a single Muslim who has not prayed for Palestine? Why have they not been accepted? Is because our attitude, we act differently to what we say, basically, what we believe. Why this duty? Quran is a book of guidance, basically. We were blessed with the Quran. We have to promote it. It guides one to the norms of Islamic society. The Quran is full of different orders of how and you will live in the Islamic society, how one should act or not act in the Islamic society. The best society is the one where there is no evil, no bad in it. Evil could be like drinking, gambling, smuggling, corruption, anything. It is jihad bil lisan, intellectual jihad. You know, when you're supposed to stop with your hand or stop with your tongue, it means by stop by speaking. So your jihad bil lisan is stopping with your tongue, in other words. Intellectual jihad, in other words, when you talk about refraining from bad in the society. Weakest faith, not to act and not to speak, and not to physically act against it or not to speak up against it. That would be the weakest of your iman. And we see that in our present day society. There's so much zulm is going on. But because they're influential people doing the zulm, that's why we never even act or we don't even speak. But in our hearts, we all know that everything is going wrong. Teachings into action. How can these teachings be brought into practical actions? Muslims need a collective effort to implement this hadith. It's a collective effort. We can't work on our own. We need to collectively implement this hadith as a Muslim ummah. The government is responsible to stop evil. That's why we have the police force. That's why we have the army. That's why we have, different FCs and rangers. Why do we have these forces or the intelligence? It is because we are supposed to stop evil, stop anything that bad is happening in the society. What should not happen is they should not suppress innocent people due to their authoritative might. Now, yes, police do have the right, army does have the right to stop evil, but what should not happen in the society is the misuse of their, authority. And we see this collectively happening, not just in Pakistan, but many other countries in which the authority is misused. Innocent people are brought to accountability when they have not done anything. And then you will see many prestigious people, many influential people doing zulm, but they're not being questioned at all. Pakistan Army is ever ready to fight evil, as Darb-e-Azab was conducted to outrule terrorists. So many years back, when the attack was conducted on Army Public School in Peshawar, then the Pakistan Army at that time, they conducted Darb-e-Azab. It was an operation against the terrorists. They were successful in it. Even today, there are ongoing operations, so that armed operations to go fight against the terrorists, the Khawarij, and the Baloch Liberation Army, and Fitnatul Khawarij is they're trying to remove that. So they are trying to remove ill from the society. Also, it's the ulama's duty to preach and promote good and to stop evil. Their preaching should be as effective. Our ulama, they should also promote good, whereas you will see multiple mosques and preachers who are preaching hate. You will see many people who preach hate. Now, my son the other day, he mentioned that he went to a Jummah. He went to a different masjid, the regular one that he usually goes to. Now, he mentioned that, okay, the person who was giving a khutbah said that a person just buried his mother. Look at the state of people nowadays. This was he was claiming, that as soon as he buried his mother, he came back and went to sleep. And because my son, have a reality check, my son didn't think it was appropriate, so that's why he mentioned it to me. And he didn't say anything. He just said that the person who was giving the sermon said this. And I said, he shouldn't have said that. I mean, how can he judge on that person who has just buried his mother and has come back home and slept? Does he know how many days of sleepless nights he has had with his mother? Maybe she was in ITC, or maybe she was on a deathbed, whatever it was, and how much he would never have slept. And maybe, remember, it is Allah who blesses you with sleep. So maybe it was a blessing from Allah as a sleep for tranquility and sukoon. So how can a person who's giving a Friday sermon object to somebody coming back and sleeping after burying his mother? That is being judgmental. So, that's not the work of the ulama. The ulama should promote good and stop evil, not promote evil, not being judgmental. And their preaching should be effective also. Individually, one can start from home, promote good and stop bad. Parents are already doing this duty when they prevent their children from doing something wrong, and they promote them to do good. Don't watch TV from, smaller distance. Don't use your phone too much, and parents are already doing it. What you could do as teenagers belonging to an O-levels class is that you could promote good and prevent bad in your siblings, amongst your siblings. Teachers are also doing it to students, but then remember, teachers should also be respectful towards their students. Don't prevent evil by scolding or, shouting, or, always it can be done always in a pleasant manner. Every Muslim try individually by starting with one's own self. Remove bad traits from your character, because remember, we're that type of a nation who always wants to fix the other person. We never think about fixing our own faults. So first of all, individually, we should try to fix our own bad traits and then try and adopt good ones. This is the question that you usually get in the paper. P2, question number 1. Choose any two of the following hadiths. Describe their teachings about what Muslims believe. Explain how Muslims can put these teachings into action. Thank you. Islam.